Injured Gaur collapsed in the jungle until a brave woman and a silent elephant stepped forward. Somewhere deep within the undergrowth, a massive body lay collapsed. Blood darkened the soil beneath its shoulder, leaves trembling with every breath it took. A rusted wire trap had bitten deep into its flesh, and every attempt to rise only tore the wound further. The king of the forest now lay helpless, flies beginning to gather, nature's patience wearing thin. The villagers stood at a distance, close enough that they could not ignore him, far enough that they would not help. "It's too dangerous," one man muttered, shifting his weight. "That thing could charge if it gets up," another said. "Better to let the forest decide," someone added quietly. They said it as if the forest were gentle. The Gaur's eye rolled, wide and dark, reflecting shapes that would not come near. Its breath rasped now, a deep animal sound stripped of strength. The jungle answered with silence, as if even it was waiting. That was when she arrived. She did not rush. She never did. Her boots pressed softly into wet leaves as she moved past the onlookers. She wore plain field clothes, dark and practical, hair tied back, sleeves rolled just enough to reveal forearms marked by old scars. No badge was visible. No uniform announced her purpose. Someone scoffed. Who she thinks she is? She stopped several meters from the animal and crouched slowly, lowering herself to the Gaur's eye level. She did not look at the crowd. She looked only at the rise and fall of its chest, at the tremor running through its flank. "Easy," she said, her voice low, steady, almost swallowed by the forest, and this, "I hear you." The Gaur snorted weakly, head shifting an inch before pain stole the movement. The sound it made next was softer, raw, less a threat than a surrender. A woman behind her whispered, "It's suffering." "Yes," another replied, "but that's nature." The rescuer closed her eyes briefly, counting breaths that were not her own. When she opened them, something had sharpened behind her calm. "Nature didn't do this alone," she said, finally turning her head. "Fear did." A man laughed nervously. "Lady, you don't understand. That animal weighs over a ton." She stood then, slowly, deliberately, dusting leaves from her knees. "I understand weight," she replied. "And pain." She took a step closer to the Gaur. "Don't!" someone shouted. The Gaur's muscles tensed at her movement, a reflex more than a threat. She froze instantly. Hands open at her sides, posture relaxed. She waited. Seconds passed. Then the tension ebbed, replaced by exhaustion. From deeper in the jungle came another sound. Heavy, measured, unmistakable. Branches bent, leaves cracked. A presence announced itself without haste. The crowd stiffened. "No," someone whispered. "Not now." An elephant emerged between the trees, its grey form massive and quiet, eyes intelligent and unblinking. It stopped at the edge of the clearing, trunk swaying slightly, ears lifting to catch every sound. It did not charge. It did not retreat. It watched. The Gaur shifted its head toward the elephant and released a low sound, different from before, not fear, recognition. Murmurs rippled through the onlookers. "This just got worse," a man said. "Two of them," another muttered. "We should leave." The rescuer did not move. She turned her head just enough to see the elephant, then lowered her gaze again to the Gaur. "You're not alone," she said quietly, though it was unclear which animal she meant. The elephant took one slow step forward. Several people backed away. "Get her out of there!" someone yelled. The rescuer raised one hand, not toward the elephant, but toward the crowd. The gesture was small, controlled, commanding without aggression. "Give them space," she said, "or this ends badly." "Who are you to give orders?" a man snapped. She did not answer. Instead, she reached into her pack and removed a small cloth, soaked it with water from her canteen, and gently tossed it toward the Gaur's injured flank. It landed short. She did not correct it immediately. She waited, letting the Gaur process the movement. Only then did she step closer again, slow as breath. The elephant rumbled, low, deep, not a warning but a sound of awareness. The rescuer met its gaze for the first time. For a brief moment, the jungle felt like it leaned in. "I won't hurt him," she said, her voice carrying just enough. "I promise." The elephant's trunk lifted slightly, testing the air. Minutes passed like hours. The Gaur tried to move again, driven by instinct, and cried out when pain stopped it cold. Its body sagged, breath coming fast now. The rescuer's jaw tightened. "This injury is recent," she murmured to herself. "But not fresh." She glanced at the uneven ground beneath the animal, the disturbed soil, the angle of its leg. Not a trap, not a snare. A collapse. A misstep. Panic afterward had done the rest. From behind her, someone spoke more softly now. Can you actually help it?" She didn't turn. Not alone. As if summoned by the truth of her words, the elephant stepped closer, stopping just short of the Gaur. It lowered its head, trunk reaching out, hovering above the injured animal's shoulder without touching. The Gaur stilled. The rescuer exhaled slowly. This was the moment that changed everything, and no one there understood it yet. Because help was coming. Because the forest was watching. And because the woman who had stepped forward was not who she appeared to be. Not yet. The elephant's trunk finally touched the Gaur. It was not forceful, not commanding, just a gentle press against the massive shoulder, followed by a low, steady rumble that seemed to travel through the ground itself. The Gaur responded with a shuddering breath, its panic easing just enough for exhaustion to take over, its head lowered into the mud, eyes half closing, surrendering to the moment. The woman moved. She stepped into the space everyone else feared, boots sinking into soft earth beside the fallen giant. Her hands worked with quiet precision, checking the angle of the leg, the swelling along the joint, the heat trapped beneath thick hide. She spoke constantly, not loudly, but steadily, as if her voice were a rope the animal could hold on to. "I know it hurts. I know," she whispered. "Stay with me." The elephant stayed still, forming a living wall between her and the crowd. Anyone who tried to step closer stopped when one massive ear lifted slightly. No threat was needed. A wildlife truck arrived at the edge of the clearing, brakes hissing. A uniformed officer jumped out, then froze when he took in the scene. "That's her," he said under his breath. The murmurs returned, sharper now. "Who? The woman with the elephant? No, that can't be." She finally stood and turned. From her pocket, she pulled a worn badge and clipped it to her belt with a soft metallic click. The officer straightened instantly. "Field Commander Maya Reeves," he said, voice carrying. "Call sign, Whisper." The name moved through the clearing like a wind through tall grass. "She's the one who walked a wounded tiger out of a village," someone whispered. "The one animals don't run from," another said. Maya knelt again, unfazed by the sudden shift in tone. Under her direction, the vet team moved in carefully, guided by her hand signals and the elephant's silent cooperation. Medication was administered, supports were placed. Every movement was slow, deliberate, respectful. "Now," Maya said softly. The elephant pressed its shoulder against the Gaur's side, not lifting, just steadying. Maya braced herself opposite, hands firm, feet planted. "On 3, she murmured. The Gaur gathered what strength it had left. With a deep, shaking effort, and the quiet help of two beings who refused to leave, it rose. The moment it stood, the forest seemed to exhale. Applause broke out before anyone realized they were clapping. The Gaur swayed, then steadied. Its breathing slowed. Its eyes met Maya's for a long moment, something ancient passing between them. Then it took one careful step, and another. When it finally disappeared into the trees, the elephant watched until it was gone. Only then did it turn away, melting back into the jungle, without ceremony. Maya removed her gloves, hands trembling now that the danger had passed. "I'm sorry," one of the villagers said, stepping forward. "We thought we were afraid." She nodded, tired but calm. "Fear is loud," she said. "Compassion is quiet, but it lasts longer." As the forest reclaimed the clearing, one truth remained heavy in the air. Sometimes rescue does not come with sirens or force. Sometimes it comes with listening. And sometimes, when one woman chooses to step forward, even the wild remembers how to hope.